Hello and welcome to my channel. In this tutorial, we're going to look at the second type of conditional statement in C#, which is called a switch statement. A switch statement is another type of conditional statements which could be a good option if we have many conditions to choose from. So if there are few conditions, if else is a good option. But if you have a lot of options to choose from, so I would personally prefer switch statement, which is a good option. Because the way it is structured, the way it is coded, is quite a lot more convenient to code, to maintain, to execute than if-else statement. How does it work? It works based on a match pattern. For example, we send an expression here to the switch statement. If the matching value is A, this block of code will be executed. If the matching expression is B, this block of code will be executed. If it is C, then the C block will be executed. If there is no match found of the cases in my code, then the default statement or default block will be executed. Whatever the statement is executed, there is a break after this. That means if we found a match here, let's say case B, it will execute this code and it will exit the code from here. So it will not go to C or any other option after this. So let's have a look and see in the code how the switch statement works. By the way, in the switch cases, you can pass a number, you can pass a string, you can pass characters, anything you want to pass, but make sure that you remember how things work. Like if you are passing a character here in the expression variable, then this A should be in single quote. If you are passing as a string, then this should be in double quote. But if you are passing just a number, which I'm going to demonstrate in my next example, then you don't need to put numbers in any quotes, as you know in C#. So let's have a look, open Visual Studio, and see how switch statement works. Right, so this is my code from the previous tutorial about if-else statement. And this is that solution code that I shared in the comment in the previous video already. Let's open a new project. And again, I will prefer to go for the .NET option. Let's open. And this one is again also a conditional statement, but this one conditional switch statement. They're all stored in my C# programming folder. Right, yeah, I want to save that one. I made a small changes there. So let's have a look. So I'm going to type here that, you know, as I explained in previous programs, this is the main method of my application. This is the default class program. We're going to create a lot of classes in the next tutorials when I'm moving towards object-oriented programming. This is the name of the project, and these are all the default classes and packages. I don't think I will need these 4 of them. I only use a system at the moment. When I use the other classes, default classes, then I will show you in the next tutorials. So I'm just going to type here, this is, let's say, switch statement in C#. And I'm going to type there's another statement as well here. Console.read key. This is simply to hold the screen as I did. And I will execute it once to see that the code works. It's just a good habit when you're typing your code, keep checking your work. I keep executing, compiling to just make sure that the code works. Right, the plan now for this code is that I'm going to enter numbers 1 to 7, and I'm going to find a day of the week. So I will ask the user to enter a number from 1 to 7, up 7, and let's say when the number is inserted, I just got it, let's say day number or number. Let's just call it day number equal to console dot read line. It's going to be actually one number only, but read line is fine for now. Right, now the problem here is again, by default is string, so it's not going to work. So we have to convert this to int. Why should I make it to 32? What about 16? Remember in the data types and variables in the early videos, I can easily, even I can store this in a byte as well. But let's say, because byte is 1 byte, short is 2 bytes, and integers are 4 bytes. So I think short is perfectly fine. It can store up to more than 32,000 number, and all I need to store 1 to 7. So I think, yeah, short is more than enough for us. And for that, I choose to int 16. What if I choose 32? It's not going to work because this is 4 bytes and this is 2 bytes. Again, remember my previous tutorial about implicit and explicit casting. So I have to cast this implicitly to store it in the short. But I don't have to do that long process unnecessarily here because I can just simply change it to 16, so it works for me. So we took the user input, we converted to short, and we stored in a short number, which is called day numbers. Now I'm going to pass this number into the switch statement as an expression. So I'm going to type here day number, and here, let's say the case is 1. So if it is found, I need to create another variable, something called day. Right, so I need to create another variable here, string day. This is just to store the day after week. So if the case is 1, that means if the day number stores 1, there's another way to automatically also find a number from 1 to 7, the random numbers class, but I'm going to explain those in a later sessions. For now, we just manually enter a number. The number is stored in a day number. The day number is passed as an expression to the switch statement. So if the day number contains 1, then what will happen? The day will be stored as Monday. Right? And after this, once we store Monday, we just break the system. Right. So case 2, day equal to, let's say, Tuesday. And then after that, we're going to use break. Case 3, intelligence is just amazing in Visual Studio. It helps a lot. And then we've got Wednesday, and then we have break. And then we got case 4. In that case, we got Thursday stored here, and break automatically. And then we got case 5. In that case, that's Friday. And, oh, yeah, breaks. It should be in this order, easy to maintain and edit your code. Day 6, if 6 is found in that number, then we can say that will store Saturday, and again break, and case 7. And case 7, day stored there will be Sunday. Right, that break, and then we got case 8. We don't have 8 days in the week, only 7 days, so I'm going to stop there. And, right, in this default day, I can just put something here. Let's say day equal to, let's say, invalid number stored in the number. Okay. And again, break. Okay, so we got, so once we enter a number here, 1 to 7, if it is 3, so it will ignore 1 and 2, and it will come to day 3. Sorry, case 3. And then the code, this code will be executed. It could be anything. It could be another loops. It could be calling some other functions. it could be executing another block of code. At the moment, it's a very simple code. As you can see, we got a day variable, which is a string here. I declared line number 14. So if 3 is inserted, it will just store Wednesday in day variable and break. This will just exit this whole loop. What if I entered here 10, and 10 is no option here? So it will skip all of them, and it will come down to default. And within default, it will store n-varied number stored in day number variable. Okay, and then it will simply exit the loop. Once the loop is completed here, so it's not a loop, it's called loop we're going to cover in the next session. This is the end of the switch statement. You need to make sure that you know when the curly braces are opened and closed. End of switch statement. This is very important. If you don't close it properly, you're going to have a problem. Okay, so again, let me repeat. We take the user input 1 to 7. That user input is taken with the help of this line, converted into short, and that number is stored in this day number variable. After that, I created an empty variable called day string. It just gives you a warning that this is not assigned any value. So if you want, you can assign just nothing in that. Yeah. Oh, maybe just leave it as it is. Just still give you a warning. Just say, right, unnecessary assignment has value to day. Yeah, just ignore this. A green line is not a big issue here. Right, so we have this day variable. What else we got? So once we stored a number here in day number, and then we have empty variable day, which simply says that the variable day is assigned, but the value is never used. We're going to use it in a second. You will see this. Then this warning will disappear. So in the switch statement, we pass that day number variable, which holds some numbers. So if it is 1, it will assign Monday into day variable. If it is 5, it will assign Friday into day variable. If it is not 1 to 7, it will just assign n-varied number stored in day number variable in this day variable, and it will exit. After this, if we execute it, nothing will be printed on the screen other than that welcome message and asking you to enter a number. The reason nothing is printed is that once we assign a value to the day variable, it is never used. And that's what this editor is telling us, that the day is never used. So we're going to just type here quickly. So you're going to store here, let's see the new, that one. Let's say the value stored in day variable is, and we can just simply use that concatenation operator, day. So we just want to see what is stored inside the day, right? So let's execute your code, and let's say I entered 5. So the value stored in day variable, or you can just simply say today is Friday. Okay. Let's try to execute this again, and this time I'm going to enter a value, let's say 9. We don't have any case 9. We have case 1 to 7. So let's see what we get. So the value stored in a day variable is n-varied number stored in a day number variable. That means no day is assigned to the day variable. So I hope you understood how things work in the switch statement. Again, let me show you. This is just that switch statement, a welcome message. This is, we take the user input and we store it in this day number variable. Then we created this day to store the day of the week, which is an empty variable. Then we pass that day number, which contains a number, to the switch statement. And once we store something in it, that could be used as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see, we have 7 cases. So if it is 4, it will store Thursday in the day variable. If it is 7, it will store Sunday. And if it is none of these 1 to 7, it will store n-varied number stored in this day variable by default. And once this switch statement ends, then it just print on the screen the value stored in a day variable is this. So that's the switch statement that we covered in this tutorial. Now, based on what you learn in this switch statement and how it works, this is your task now to convert that grading system that we created in if-else statement, convert that into switch statement. Remember that grade A, B, C, D, E, and fail grade. You need to convert those based on those numbers into this switch statement. If you have any problem with converting this, please write your comment in the chat and I will post the solution for this. Thank you for watching.